I'm going to go ahead and remove that and show your moneymaker
Yeah, there
on
you go.
TV. This is your first time in the studio.
Yeah, first time in the new studio. This is
Yeah,
great.
I
I
am.
love it.
He's like, where do I put my hands?
Yeah, I
What am I
don't,
doing
we
here?
got a new table, we got new chairs, we got new mics.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
It is, it is.
So a quick shout out to everyone. Thank you for joining us. Let me throw up our poll question this morning. This has to do with what we're covering with Brian. And by the way, we're awaiting a press conference with Governor Katie Hobbs. We'll bring that to you live as soon as it comes in. With some new information there on some of the firefighting efforts taking place in California as well. This is a look at our poll question for all of you. Beautiful weather this time of year in Arizona. We have a lot of events going on, and we have the Phoenix Open. So what's the best place to hike in the valley? Because this is kind of like one of those things that people do, visitors do here. And Mormon Trail is one option. Freedom Trail, which is along that Piestewa Peak, around the Phoenix Mountain Preserve. That's my fave, by the way. Camelback Mountain and Piestewa Peak. What are your favorites?
I would say I like Papago Park.
Oh, that's a good one. How long is that hike, by the way?
Not very long, and it's kind of a flat hike, so it's just a nice stroll.
Yeah.
I don't like to get too. I don't like a big.
You don't want to glisten.
Strenuous hike.
You don't want to glisten.
No. But I'll tell you something. I've been here in the area for about 20 years.
Yes.
And I've never hiked Camelback Mountain.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I've been there for stories.
Yeah.
I've been there to interview people, and I see it all the time.
It's actually a strenuous hike.
I've heard that. So
Yeah.
maybe that's why I've kind of been like, and I'm not like an avid hiker.
Yes.
So when I do choose to go hiking, I want
Mhm.
something that I know I can handle.
You're like, can the chopper drop me off at the top instead? Because the view's spectacular.
Yeah.
And good morning to everyone in the chat box, by the way. Tyler Lewis, thank you. I left our morning show just about 5 minutes early to make it here. I appreciate you chiming in and noticing with the contest. But KDJW5, good morning. Tyler Lewis, Linda Montrose, Jim Fine. It's so good to see all of you. And thank you for sharing your thoughts on our poll question as well. BK, you are spectacular at the drone.
Ooh.
And so great. And we wanted to talk about, since we're talking about hiking and beautiful weather in Arizona, and as we await Governor Hobbs with this big press conference, let's talk about, you have Drone Zone, which is a show that airs on our app. It streams.
Yep.
What is Drone Zone?
Well, Drone Zone is myself and drone pilot Joe Tillman, and we show our different drone zones that we've done throughout the years. We talk about a little bit behind the scenes, maybe what we did in particular for a certain shoot, and we just have fun with it.
And so what has been, or let me go ahead and roll some video and we'll
All
talk
right.
about this. So the first piece of video that we have, where are we with this image here?
This is Pinnacle Peak Park in Scottsdale.
Wow. Is that the trail that you would
Yeah.
take? Oh,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
see someone there.
I've been on this one. I've been on this one.
You've conquered this mountain.
But we were at Pinnacle Peak Park. This drone zone aired a couple weeks ago, but it's just the perfect weather to go hiking now in Arizona, and this is just a beautiful spot. It's kind of an iconic, natural landmark.
Yeah, it really is. How long is that trip up the hill?
I want to say about 4 miles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And this, look at this woman. She's
Yeah.
conquering it.
It's a little deceiving because it does start off low, but then as you can see, it kind of winds around and the elevation gets higher and higher. But once you get to a certain area at the top, the sights are just wonderful.
Yeah. Oh my
You can
goodness.
see all of Scottsdale and down to Phoenix.
And inside that person's backyard.
Yeah, yeah. Hello, whoever that is.
Hello. Yeah, you have
You have great place right there.
and a great access to the hiking trail. I mean, I think we have so many. Arizona is so definitely unique. We have folks from all over Arizona and the country and the world who watch here on the streaming show on Fox 10 Talks. But Arizona is so unique because you see mountains in the background with some of those images. Wow, look at these people.
Yeah, that's, I guess, a rock climbing, or what is that called? Rappelling?
Yeah, I wonder if they have harnesses. And it looks like maybe they had a harness.
I think they didn't have helmets on.
You have so many of these different mountains that surround the valley. It's just so beautiful. It's one of the most unique cities I've ever been in. I mean, I've been all over Texas and Alabama and the East Coast and Midwest and Northwest and part of the country, Pacific Northwest. And Arizona is so unique in that way. And, and listen, Tyler Lewis says, I want to see the Fox 10 drone. Like he wants to see the actual drone.
Well, I don't have it on me now, but
Right.
next time I'm on, I'll bring the drone and show them.
I'm going to go ahead and put you on. How big is the drone? Give us an
It's
idea.
about I don't have anything to.
It's bigger than a Big Mac.
Yes, bigger than a Big Mac, bigger than your cell phone. It's about like this big.
Yeah.
I wish I brought it now.
I know.
I
And
could have
it's
showed you.
and it may be in the break. You can run and grab it real fast if you
Sure.
can. I don't know if it's in the building, but it is actually very unique in that you have you are specially trained with
Mhm.
this, machine, the drone
Right.
by the FAA.
We take a knowledge test. We pass our Part 107 to get our drone's license. And then Fox goes the extra step to make sure we're safe, and we go through a, I guess, drone flight training class. And we go there
Yeah.
for a week, and we just learn how to fly, and that's all we do there.
Yes.
And we actually had a new photographer, not a new photographer, but a photographer who's our new drone pilot who went last week to South Carolina to train to be a drone pilot. He came
Wow.
back, and he's ready to go.
He was a new man.
He's a
He
new
was
man.
like Moses coming down from the mountain.
Yeah.
He had a white beard and the whole thing. You're like, whoa, who are you? You're like, amazing. Okay, so let me give you a quick shout out to a couple of people we were talking about. Linda says one of her favorites, she says, we have Roper Lake State Park and
Oh.
Mount Graham. Have you been to either of those areas?
We've been to Roper Lake, and we did a drone zone on it, and we did a drone
Oh.
zone show on the
Oh, my
Fox Local
goodness.
app, so she should go check that out.
Oh, Linda, do you hear that in the chat box? Yeah, let us know in the chat box if you guys. One person says Williams, Arizona. The theme park
Yeah.
that we had last time we had you on
Canyon
the drone.
Coaster.
Yes.
There's a lot to do in Williams. There's Canyon Coaster. There's the Grand Canyon Deer Park or Deer Farm,
Yes.
and Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good stuff.
Okay, let's go ahead and go back to the video if we can. Where is this? This is the second piece
This
of
is
video.
Tom's Thumb
Okay.
Trailhead in Scottsdale, kind of close to Pinnacle Peak. I think it's like about 15 minutes or so from there. This is a more strenuous hike. It looks deceiving, like, they're just, biking on the trail, no big
Yeah.
deal. But to get to the actual thumb, I guess, is a pretty intense hike.
Look at that
So,
mom.
Yeah,
She's
she's
like,
like waving at the drone or looking at the drone. What's that? Why
She's
are
like,
they-
hey, who are you? So this is huge. This is a pretty big park.
It is. And there's, we have the thumb. We'll show the thumb here pretty soon.
Okay.
But we love droning our trails. Like you said, a lot of people love to hike in the area, and we love working with our Parks and Rec. There we go. There's the thumb.
Oh, I see.
Are those two little people up there? I
There
don't
might
know.
there might be
This
up
is
on the
a
corner.
very popular rock climbing area too.
Wow. And I have to tell you that folks love the drone gives us such a different vantage point. Like it's just so beautiful.
Oh yeah.
We do have what are your thoughts here? Leo Mack in our chat box said Costco drones are awesome. He's giving a big shout out
All
to
right.
Costco.
I haven't used one.
He said, I bought one years ago. After 2 days, returned it, but thanks
Oh.
to their great return policy. Are they hard to operate in the beginning?
I think so because, you have the controls, one to go up, one to go down, and then
Mhm.
side to side. So you kind of got to get used to the controls. But
Right.
I guess I would say it's almost like a video game. I mean, if you're good at video games, you might have a
might
better
be-
sense of.
Yeah.
But you have two joysticks basically, and you're controlling them to control the drone.
Mhm.
And it's kind of like you might get a little off center
Yes.
with direction because you're wanting to go forward, but you go up, and that's why we do the training, especially for Fox,
Right.
because we want to make sure we're the safest pilots out there getting that video.
And we were out not too far from Tom's Thumb, actually. Brian and I were out shooting a Cool House, and it was out at the TPC. Just, what was that earlier this week? Monday? Yeah, Monday.
Yes.
Sometimes it's like, what did I have for dinner last night? Was that Monday? But it was, you had double checked the airspace, and
Yeah.
you said, oh, bummer, we can't do
Yeah.
drone,
Yeah.
And so there are certain rules in different airspaces where there's airports, and we have so many
Right.
airports in the valley.
Yeah, the WM Open is near Scottsdale Air Park,
Mhm.
and we can't fly there. It's zero limit for us, so we can't even get approval from the FAA to fly there.
Yeah.
So
Let's go
that
back
was
to
a no-go.
more of this video that you brought. And a quick question. Somebody said, the Biodome, which is down in the Tucson
Yes.
area, they said that should be on the list to do. I don't even know what the FAA, if they would have any.
I like that. We've droned that, but it's been years. I want to say it's been about 6 years or so. So that might be a nice revisit
Yeah.
and go back there. I don't know if they changed things up. If there's anything new, we could check it out.
Yeah. So that was somebody. It says, it's in Oracle, Arizona.
hmm
And you're right that Tyler Lewis is sharing with Jen Wall in the chat box that it was kind of a big controversy and everything. But listen to this.
Oh.
Somebody says, Lisa Dinsmore asked, is the Holy Stone a good drone brand?
Holy Stone.
Have you heard that? I haven't
heard
of
the
that brand.
Holy Stone.
Yeah.
We use DJI, and we fly the Mavic 3, Series 3.
Yeah.
And that's what we've been flying.
And
for
ours
years.
have great quality, as you can see here from Tom's thumb. How you drive up to North Scottsdale? Where is the trailhead to this one?
That I think that's facing away from the trailhead. But we're like right at the trailhead. I think it was. I can't remember.
It's a long hike, though, isn't it?
It's a long hike.
Pretty
yeah,
long
it's
hike.
like see how flat that is, like up to where you get to the actual base of the
I see.
mountain.
Okay, so I'm gonna pull up the mystery cam.
Okay,
so we can go ahead and take a look. Ooh, look at this.
It looks a little overcast.
It does look overcast.
Wow.
So everyone in the chat box watching on YouTube or on any of our Fox Local apps, this is a mystery cam, and Ron Hoon, who is normally here, he's out a little under the weather, buddy. I know he's watching, and we miss you, and hope you heal up quick, and we see you tomorrow.
Get well.
And so this is one of Ron's favorite times in the morning, and many of you who are watching as well and hang with us. What are your thoughts on where this could be? So this is a mystery drone. Quick note to all of you as well. We're awaiting Governor Katie Hobbs. She is going to have a live press conference. We're watching some of the, behind the scenes right now, awaiting her to approach a podium to share her thoughts on some of the firefighting efforts that took place in California and how the Arizona, fire crews helped with that. What are your thoughts on this, BK? Where do you think this is?
Well, the weather is overcast. I don't see any leaves on the trees. So I'm thinking it's like Eastern U.S.
Look at the buildings, right? They kind of and they're very colorful.
Yeah. Am I guessing?
Yeah,
now,
you want to think? Okay, let's think about it. You want to guess afterwards?
This is your show, Syleste. You tell me what you.
Okay, you think about it. You mull it over. I'm going to say up in the Northeast too. And let me go ahead and what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break in a quick moment, and we are going to come right back. We'll give you the answer to this. We have a white envelope. It's like the Grammys. It's like the Oscars in here. BK gets to open it up. Yeah, I don't know, maybe.
All right.
I might have like a pen for you, a Fox 10 pen.
Sweet.
All right, we'll take a quick break, and in the chat box, let us know. We're already getting some of you guessing on this. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. We have Governor Katie Hobbs. She is speaking now here. Let's listen in real quick.
That he was from California, so it was really personal to him to be there to help his community. Um, I heard stories of what they did, and really, they represented Arizona so well, and I'm so grateful to them. I was proud that Arizona was able to lend a hand when this disaster struck, and I know that when we're in similar situations, we rely on the same help and support from our neighbor agencies. Uh, DFFM immediately rose to the occasion when they were needed and deployed 8 task forces. Task Force 1 and Task Force 2, headed by Battalion Chief Rich Jones and Battalion Chief Burrell Teague, were assigned to the Eden Fire. They protected structures, they cleared vegetation to prevent fire from spreading to nearby homes, and Task Force 1 had their deployment extended from 14 to 21 days. Task Force 6, led by Chief Lehigh Vicano, was assigned to the Palisades Fire. They were responsible for securing the perimeter of the fire along the coastline between Malibu and Santa Monica. They chased hotspots and responded to medical calls and supported residents who had to relocate. The other 5 task forces were stationed to tackle the emergence of new fires and working with the U.S. Forest Service and CAL FIRE. Each task force consisted of 4 or 5 engines, and at its peak, we had more than 150 personnel from Arizona deployed. These brave firefighters embody the Arizona promise, keeping Arizonans safe every day and helping our neighbors across state lines when they need it most. And we need to do everything we can to support them and their families. So it's time that our hardworking rank and file firefighters get a raise. And you saw that raise proposed in my executive budget, and I'm going to fight for this in our budget negotiations. As Arizona's firefighters, they battle some of the nation's toughest wildfires. Year over year, these events have gotten worse, and pay has certainly not increased to match the growing intensity. This pay increase will help us attract and retain the best professionals and will ensure that these brave men and women can live the Arizona promise. It's time to put our money where our mouth is, and it's a priority for me in this year's budget. With that, I'm so thankful to these men and women and want to recognize their heroic efforts with an official commendation. So when you hear your name, would you please come forward, starting with Division Chief Daryl Willis.
All right. You are listening to Governor Katie Hobbs. She is now awarding a lot of those different firefighters, and a big thank you to them and their families for the sacrifice that they gave and traveling to California to fight these fires. So she will join the Department of Forest and Fire Management to, and you heard her moments ago, personally thank the 8 task forces who were deployed to California to assist in fighting the LA wildfires. During the event here that you're witnessing here today, the governor is highlighting a proposal to raise state firefighter pay by 15%. And of course, you can see the line of the different crew members that she is awarding this morning. And so this is it was such a huge, I think, Brian, and I'll bring you in on this too, because we've covered wildfires here in Arizona before. This is the sacrifice that they make, the time they give, the time away from their families, putting their life in danger. This needs to be remembered and commemorated.
I agree. And we thank all the firefighters from Arizona who went there and all over that went to these fires to help.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and just give you at home a quick glance of some of I believe we have some video here this morning as well, of the Palisades fire. And thank you all for still sticking with us in the chat box and on YouTube as well with some of this breaking news that we have with Governor Katie Hobbs taking to the podium to share some of her thoughts. This is some video of our crews here in Arizona driving out to California. You see all the vans full of crew members and of course, all of their supplies heading out to California. This is video of the Palisades fire. What an event, Brian, that was as we watched the whole thing unfold.
It's devastating.
Absolutely devastating. And so you have Phoenix fire crews who join crews from all around the country in fighting these fires. And of course, so many homes and families were affected. These fires were moving so fast, 100-mile-per-hour winds, from those Santa Anas moving through. And The big question is what will happen to a lot of those families
Mhm.
and what will happen to all the properties that are there, not just in the Palisades, but Altadena and a little bit farther south and north of there as well. This is this gives you a good idea, Brian, I think, too, as we get back to some of the drone images. And we'll check back in with Katie Hobbs a little bit later this morning as well to get more coverage on her thanking some of those fire crews. But when you have the drone images that we have, or you have a helicopter up above
Mhm.
giving you a bird's eye view, it's a different type of coverage and gives us a different vantage point that helps us tell the story in a different way.
Yeah, you get a different perspective of that situation, especially with those homes and businesses that were burned down. We're actually going to do a recorded drone zone show with Joe Tillman and Syleste Rodriguez. They were sent
they were there. Yeah.
to the fires to cover it and help our sister station out in LA. And Joe was able to drone some of the damaged homes, and you just look at it, and it just gives you a different perspective of the, devastation throughout from those wildfires.
Yeah, throughout that Southern California
Mhm.
region. Just a quick shout out to all of you in the chat box. Many of you are saying, Sherry, Nevada Pop said, kudos to all the firefighters. They are
Yeah.
truly heroes. Some people say, Jen's Wall says it's so sad, and it is absolutely heartbreaking, for sure. Let's go ahead and bring you back to the mystery cam.
Okay.
Many of you chimed in on this morning, and we're going to give you another good look. We had some good guesses, Brian. And by
Yeah.
the way, during the break, Brian went and grabbed the drone, so he'll show that off to you in just a quick moment. So we have a Vermont, a Jersey. We have Washington or Montana, maybe up in the Pacific Northwest. That's a good guess.
That is a good guess.
That's a good guess. We also have, a Wisconsin, a Virginia, West Virginia. And so those are a Boston, a Rhode Island. Look at all of you.
Wow.
The Rhode Island might be a good guess.
I was
that.
thinking that, but with the weather the way it is and the architecture of the buildings,
Yes.
I'm going to say Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Okay, and I'm going to go Rhode Island with
Okay.
with one of our friends in the chat box. Do you want to do the honors and open up the no, you do it,
I
my
do the
friend.
honors?
Yeah,
All
then
right,
you
all
do
right.
the honors. And then just turn the sheet around once you read it. Look at you.
Joan- Johnstown, Pennsylvania.
You got it right.
Wow.
You got it right. It's you buy
I think I'm like 2 for 2 now.
Yeah, I think you are. Even Brian in the background. Somebody is clapping back there. They're
Wow.
like, yes. Okay, if your wife is watching, you got to go out and buy a lottery ticket.
All right.
Honey, we're going to the
We're getting
convenience
a lotto
store.
ticket.
Okay, so let's go back to some of your video. I think
All
we
right.
do have another piece.
Yes.
What is this?
This is the intro to a new show that's on the Fox local app called What's in a Name Arizona.
Uh-huh.
And reporter Brian Webb and I kind of came up with this idea because, we travel the state for different stories, and you go by different exits and you see names of towns or, cities, and you're like, I wonder how that
How that
place
came to
got
be.
their name, right?
Like Ajo, Arizona.
Yeah.
Ajo is garlic.
Yeah,
in
how did it get its
Spanish.
name?
Yeah, that's a good
So
question. Oh, like
we've-
Goldfield.
Yeah, we've done a couple of these already. They're on the Fox local app. We did Fountain Hills, which was our first one, so we wanted to kind of start pretty easy. We don't
What a
have to
great idea.
We don't have to dig too hard, Fountain and the hills. So it's named after the fountain. We did Cave Creek. Yes, there is a cave
Oh, and that's how
Yes.
and a creek?
and a creek. There was a gunfight, and they hid in the cave, and that's kind of how it got its name. But you can watch the episode, and we tell you all about it. And this is the Cave Creek one.
oh wow, he got on horseback.
Yeah. So we go to these places, we find out the history, we find out how it's got its name,
Yes.
and then we just showcase some of the fun things you can do there.
Oh wow. And Brian put his boots on the whole thing. This is like high level stuff.
It's fun. It's good stuff. It's fun discovering stuff in your own state. We have
it
a
is.
couple other. I mean, I don't want to give anything away, but we're going to go to Globe
Okay.
and probably going to go to Y, Arizona.
Oh yeah, why Arizona?
Because
Yeah, because why?
why?
Why? I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I'm about to
why?
learn
We're
why.
going to know why when we go to Y. Why?
That is
Because
so
that's what we're doing.
great. Okay, let's show off the drone because
Okay.
we
Oh,
have
yeah,
about
yeah.
4 minutes or so. I want to make
All
sure
right,
that we
so
get
this is the drone. First off, Celeste, here is
Yes.
the controller.
Yes. Oh, like
So
a
see-
like a video game.
It is like a video game, and then we have a screen there so you can
Oh,
see
goodness. Two-shot. There
you
you go.
can see what we're shooting. It's not on
Yes.
right now.
Right, but this is kind of, and it is kind of like
Like a
like
video
one of
game.
those game boxes, like
A
the
game box, yes.
Nintendo game box. Your
Yeah.
kids probably asked for Christmas.
Yeah. So, and this is the drone. It's the Mavic 3.
Okay,
And this is a little cradle it's in to keep it safe.
nice.
And we extend the
Okay,
drone out like
Mhm.
this.
this is the Mavic 3, and you do it very
And,
gently.
Yeah. And
Very
this is how big it
gently.
is.
Oh yeah,
So,
look at that.
and these are the propellers.
It looks like some sort of like alien is taking over the skies.
Yeah, like
What happens when a bird sees that up in the sky?
Oh,
when you're
sometimes birds love the drone. They want to see what it is. I mean,
they're
they
like,
get
what
close,
is that?
but they get close sometimes, but nothing too bad.
crazy.
Here's the camera right here.
Oh, in the
That-
front.
yeah.
Okay.
So it's
Point
tiny.
it this way but if you
Okay.
can, to this. There's the camera there. Oh yeah, so you see that's a little camera right
Yeah,
in
right there. This is
And
captured on the
it's a
video.
really it's crazy when you think about the technology. Like that little teensy camera can zoom right into like those really beautiful. Let me pull up
We can
this
zoom
other
in like
video.
12 times.
Yeah, it's like it's so crazy. When you like look at this is coming. The video you're looking at right now is coming from this drone.
yeah.
Wow.
And it's not too big, and it looks like a bug, like you said, like
Yeah,
a little
it does
creature.
It does look like a creature.
So we got the propellers here,
Okay.
right here.
All right, there we go.
So they all spin, work in tandem. I
Uh-huh.
just replaced them, so they're brand new.
Nice.
And then back here is where I should have brought. I have a battery. This is where the battery goes.
Uh-huh.
I'll show you what the battery looks like.
Okay.
Where's the bag? There.
And batteries are important.
Batteries are important. That's kind of what makes it go, right?
You don't want because how many times have you been out and it's like, oh, I need to change the batteries?
Never, Celeste.
Nope, because you're always
always
you're
prepared.
always ready.
So this is what the battery looks like. It's like, rectangle.
Linda
mean,
says, thanks for sharing your drone,
Yeah,
Brian.
no problem. So
Tyler
it's-
Lewis says, great images on that camera. I am shook. He didn't say this, but I'm saying it's fire.
It is fire.
It is fire.
And then we have sensors on the drone. So if it gets close to an object like a tree or a wall or something,
Yeah.
it'll sense that. And there's two different options. It could either bypass the object it's
Mhm,
sensing
mhm.
or just brake.
Oh, okay.
So if I'm flying towards a chair or something
Yes.
and it senses it, if I have it on bypass, it'll go up and over. If I have it on brake, it'll just stop right in front of the object.
We have about 15 seconds.
Okay.
How do people reach you? Your handle or are you
At BK Fox 10,
on?
Twitter, X.